All right. Hey, team. I wanted to share a pretty cool concept that I just recently kind of brought to light and learned about. And it is mental fatigue. And that's becoming more and more prominent according to brain experts nowadays. So let me paint two scenarios for you, and you can kind of let me know or let yourself know if this describes you. So it's later at night. And yeah, we tend to be a little bit hungrier at night, hormonal rhythms and whatnot, but you're not like ravishing, starving, and you get home and you just don't want to think about it. You don't want to make a decision, so you just order pizza. That's what we do. We go to pizza because it's like, oh, do I want to make burgers? Do we want to thaw this out? Do we want to do that? We just don't want to think about it. It's not that we want to go off diet or we want to go overeat, but we don't even want to drive anywhere. We don't want to think about it. We just think of the easiest thing, and it's pizza. Let's just order pizza. Or maybe it's later at night and you got to go out to a dinner date, and you ask your significant other, and you're like, "Hey, can you just pick me out something? I don't know what to wear." Okay, you ever hear that? I don't know what to wear. Can you just pick it out for me? Okay, and typically these things happen later in the evening. We rarely wake up saying, I don't know what to wear. We typically just make a decision and roll. We typically don't wake up and say, hey, let's order pizza first thing, unless you're me. But no, we typically have easier decision making earlier in the day. And what this brain researcher was suggesting, which I tend to agree with, is you can only make so many positive decisions. Like your brain has a number, and no one knows what that number is, but your brain can only make so many decisions before it's like out. It's like a counter. Let's just pretend that decision is 20. Okay? So you have to be deliberate in the decisions that you make. Have you ever noticed that like billionaires like Bill Gates and people of that caliber, as far as wealth, do you ever notice that they wear the same things? Like, you don't really see them in the most fashionable clothes. And this researcher is pointing out, when you go into their wardrobe, they have 17 of the same exact suits, 17 of the same exact ties or whatever. And why? Because they don't want to have to think about it. They don't want to have to think about it. They just want to grab. They don't want deciding what they're going to wear to be one of their X amount of decisions, because they need that brain power to make better decisions. So ironically, I'm going to give you a couple of tips that you can do to help simplify your decision-making process. So then when it gets to be later at night, which many times we are hungry, there are other physiological factors, but we're still in good decision mode, okay? So the first one, and I'm going to start doing this, is dress simple or just lay out your wardrobe. If you got a dinner date tomorrow night, just lay it out the night before, okay? Or just simplify your wardrobe. Make it simple. If you're spending 25 minutes in the closet deciding what pair of shoes, that is taking brain power away. And then when you finally go to the dinner date, that brain power might not be left, and you might just get into all forget it mode and overeat. Okay, so simplify your wardrobe. Sounds odd, okay, but it will open up your brain to make positive nutritional decisions. Second is routine. If you have a daily routine, you don't have to think about it. Okay, like for me, I wake up, we do morning scripture, I do a 10-minute walk, and then I do the checklist. Now, a lot of times the routine can go haywire, but if you can just get the first hour of your day brainless, complete routine, okay, like you don't think about brushing your teeth, you just do it, right? So the more of that first hour of your day that you can get to be routine and make less decisions, that's going to help you save that brain power for later at night when you'll need it. Third, being deliberate with your social media. That's something that social media was making me make all kinds of decisions, because I'd get on the scroll, and I'd be like, oh, I want to make a comment, and then I'd delete the comment, and then redo the comment, and I would make all these decisions on like what cat was fluffier. So I had to start being very deliberate with social media, because that is always right in your face and it makes you make decisions. And that leads to number 4 is when you wake up, try your best. I know this might be hard for a lot of us, but put the phone aside, because the phone is automatically going to be filled with decisions, okay? Do I reply to this text? Do I get back to this message? These 15 comments, okay? So you want to be deliberate with trying to put the phone, or just limiting phone time maybe throughout the day, okay? So looking at your social media. So hopefully these tips make sense to you. The tip number 5, by the way, is creating a list. Because when you create a list, you don't have to think about what needs to get done. It is just spelled out there for you, and you will know what needs to get done. Okay? So think about it. Think of your brain. It only has so much energy and so much capacity to make sound decisions. You don't want all of your, and I know I'm simplifying here, but you don't want all of your sound decisions to be used up by the time you get home from a tough work day and you're tired and exhausted. You don't want that brain to be shut off and just go for the easy thing and say, you know what, just order pizza. Just order pizza. Okay? So, hey, hopefully this is helpful to you. I think that a lot of these solutions that we outlined today can also help in other realms of life and success as well. So, rock on. Thanks for tuning in.